players. The pick of the bunch is ball-winning midfielder Ryan Dean, but as you can see, he's not exactly Rodri. So my first act as manager was to get rid of half the squad who were on amateur contracts. Those who survived were moulded into a simple 4-4-2, where the idea is we give the ball to Ryan Dean and hope he performs some sort of miracle. That's because we are predicted to finish rock bottom of the table. So our goal in Season 1 is to just not get relegated. We kicked off the season at home against Buckley, and we started on the front foot, with our first chance coming within 120 seconds, but we just couldn't manage to get the ball in the back of the net. However, not long after, the first goal of the video was scored. For Buckley, as they headed home from a corner. But we didn't let our heads drop and we kept pushing. I do like the look of this Ryan Dean. I'd made him captain before the game, and he was leading us back to level terms with a wonderful effort from distance, which spurred on the team. So much so, striker James Smallwood won the ball on halfway, sprinted towards the penalty area, and despite pressure from numerous defenders, managed to put the ball past the keeper to give us the lead. Then in the second half, our other striker, Reece Edwards, wanted in on the action too, receiving a ball over the top from Ryan Dean and putting it past the keeper to extend our lead. Now Buckley did score a second goal late on as our defence's tired legs just gave up, but they also brought down one of our players in the penalty area with 20 seconds to go, and Niall Freeman happily scored to win us the match on the opening day. Already we've won as many games as Chirk have in real life. The winning continued as we beat a team called Mold Alex 2-1, and then our third win of the season came against Llandidloes. I don't know how we are predicted to finish bottom of the table because we are so good. Well, that was until the losing started and the reality set in. But halfway through the season, we are 9 points ahead of the relegation zone, and as long as we don't go down, that for me is a success. But we just couldn't get back to winning ways, and suffered big defeats to Hollywell, Ruthin beat us 3-1 at home, and we conceded in the 86th minute to lose 5-4 against Flint Town. So with 4 games to go, we were hovering 2 points above the relegation zone. At home against Llandudno, we ended up losing 1-0, which is not what we needed. However, we did take the lead against Llandidloes, but we then bottled that lead and conceded 2 goals before half-time. But in the 94th minute, we rescued a point by scoring a last-gasp penalty, and that kept us 2 points ahead of the relegation zone. But then we lost 5-0, which put us right on the edge once again. So we finished the season against Buckley, who we started the season against. And we always finish, as we started, with a win. A 3-1 victory was enough to take us away from the relegation zone, keeping us in the league and completing our Season 1 challenge. The bright spark was our strike force. If we can get both of them over 20 goals next season, we might be able to start a push towards the top of the table, especially if we can get some of our best youth intake players into the first team, like 16-year-old giant Tom Bellis, who is going to start for us in Season 2. But of course we brought in plenty of new players, the pick of the bunch being Thai winger Danny Hill. He also has English nationality, hence the name. So this season we need to finish in the top half of the table. In the season opener, we got the win. Our best player Ryan Dean got us started before new boy Danny Hill scored on his debut thanks to a nice deflection to deliver all 3 points. But after that, we went on a 6-game run without a win to put a dent in our hopes of finishing in the top half. Eventually though, we did get back to winning ways, with the big man Tom Bellis finally finding some form as he scored important goals to help us get wins. He also scored in the 96th minute to make sure we drew the game against Aberystwyth Town at home. So halfway through the season, we aren't going to trouble for the title, but we do need a few more wins to get ourselves into the top half. Now Tom Bellis has a taste for goals, he